You guys obviously knew the challenge coming in, but now that the game's final, just give me your general thoughts on how you guys performed.
I think in the first half we kind of let them get up. We kind of let them get too far ahead, and we didn't play as hard as we should have in the first half as a team, I think. And so I think really they got up, and it's hard to come back, especially to a team like that scores almost every time they get the ball. So it was hard to come back from what we dug ourselves into in the first half.
It seems like you guys did stiffen up in the second half. They only outscored you by 1 point. Do you feel like there was something, not a moral victory, I suppose, but something to take away from the fact that you're able to stay close with them?
I don't know. I don't really think about that. We still lost the game, and I wish that we would have played that way the entire game. I wish we maybe would have had a different outcome. Maybe wouldn't have lost by as much, or maybe would have won. But I just go back to the first half. It's just we just should have played harder. All of us should have as a team. And that's all we could have done, I think.
Do you feel like you're at that point in the season where everyone's really having to claw for just about anything on the court just to try to get those wins and ensure that you're going to be able to make the tournament?
I think so, especially because we've lost 7 games now, so it's tough to get in there even with 8 wins. So I think right now we didn't put ourselves in a good spot. So I think every game counts for us. From now on, we need to win majority of the rest of the games to even think about the tournament. So I think we are. We just have to go in there and just play hard, like I said, the entire game. That's the only thing we can do, just play together.
Is there anyone in practice or in games taking a bigger leadership role, trying to get people, start clawing for those plays more?
That's something we emphasize a little bit. It's just instead of having that certain one person to be that leader, we've kind of developed everybody as a leader and everybody helping each other. So it's I think we're all making each other work, and we're working hard for playing time. And I think now the coaches have kind of told us, he's not going to play people just because. We need to work hard. We need to play hard in practice. We need to play against each other, make each other better. So I think all of us kind of have stepped up and put practice in a higher, importance.
Ro, can you talk about your second half? You really seem to step it up an extra level.
My team was really counting on me. When I don't play good, it shows. And, I'm the point guard, so I know I have to pick it up at some point in time. If I plan on leading my team to a victory and giving out assists and stuff, and I just kind of picked it up. My first half was horrible. But, I picked it up, did what I had to do. We wish we could have had a better outcome, but it happens.
Is there anything you can point to as to what happened in the first half for you? Certain way?
Not really. I will say it was some pressure. Nia Johnson put pressure on me, but, I handled it at practice, so I should have handled it a little better in the game. I had too many turnovers in the beginning, so it was basically that.
How do you think Lakota Beatty's doing filling in for Brittany Atkins?
I think she's doing the best job she can do. She's working hard in practice. She's shooting on her own. So I think she's really working hard to take those to get those points that we're missing from Britt, and to kind of bring an extra something to our team. So I think she's working hard.
Brittany, you emphasized on team. Y'all facing adversity right now. You think going through this, you guys can come together and really figure it out and hopefully get to the Big 12 tournament?
I think so. I think we're a good enough team to work together and learn each other. And I think the last couple games, at the beginning of the season, was everybody knew we just looked like we didn't like each other. We didn't play together. So I think the last few games we've kind of come together and kind of talked to each other. So we can only go up from here. There's nothing. We have nothing to lose. So I think we really can get to that point, but just going to take some time.
Questions? Thanks, ladies.
Thanks.
Baylor's got an outstanding basketball team. They're very long. They're very athletic. They're really deep. I thought we came out in the first half and played pretty cautious, tentative, and even the word may be a little intimidated of them. I think they're very deserving of their number 3 ranking. They're very good at rebounding the basketball, and they defend, and they just don't allow you to have many easy shots inside or outside. And You could say we missed a lot of shots, but their length and their athleticism and their ability, you're open for a half a count and they close so quickly on you, they cause you to miss a lot of shots. Wasn't really that unhappy the way we played in the second half. Thought we competed a lot harder in the second half. Got after loose balls, got after rebounds, guarded better in the second half, but you can't come out against a quality team like Baylor and be timid or tentative in the early going.
Do you look at this as, because you had that win against Iowa State, had some momentum, do you look at this as a setback, or do you kind of have to try not to overreact just because of how good of a team Baylor is?
Well, I mean, when you lose and you lose at home, it isn't in my makeup to say everything's fine and everything's okay. But if you want to flip it too, I think Baylor will probably run the table on everybody. You know, I think they've got a chance to be 18-0 in conference play, and so you look at it from that way. They're going to do it to a lot of other people as well too, because they're very, very talented and they do what they do very well, and they're very balanced, and they bring people off the bench that would start for numerous other teams in the conference. They're that good. So am I pleased with a 17-point loss? By no means. I'm very upset about that, but also I realize that at this juncture, it's a very good team, and we got a bunch of young ones out there that are trying to find their way right now. And some bright spots for us. I thought Kaylee Jensen did fine. She was playing against a senior post the majority of the night, and came in, was 4 for 7 and 4 for 6 from the free throw line, and thought Brittany Martin played pretty well too. Kept us. She was really the only one scoring the first half for us, and did some good things. But you can't hold on to it very long. We've got some games coming up that we feel we got a chance to win and compete in, and we got to go back and practice well and get ready to play at KU on Saturday.
How do you think the team's dynamic and chemistry is after facing all this recent adversity?
I think they're fine. They're a pretty resilient group. We lost 4 in a row and went up and had a big win at Iowa State, which is a very difficult place to play. Going into that game, Iowa State was 12-1 at home, and you know, Baylor doesn't go through it, but a lot of other people have gone through it. OU lost 2 in a row. West Virginia was picked to finish 3rd in the conference, and you know, a couple games ago they were 2-7, and then they're regrouping from that. So it happens to a lot of people. Baylor has lost 3 in a row and 2 in a row at home. So we're not the only one that's going through tough stretches here, and it's how you handle it and how you advance further. It ain't gonna do us any good to beat these kids up right now. I think they love playing. They enjoy playing with each other. It's just a case that we've got to get better. We're not as good as we need to be right now, and but as far as the makeup and their chemistry and wanting to be good basketball players, I feel good about them.
Coach, I noticed LaShawn Jones didn't play in the second half. Was that a strategic decision, or was she hurt?
She wasn't playing. I mean, she wasn't catching the ball. She wasn't finishing shots inside, and Kaylee Jensen was. And I don't care if you're a senior or what, but you got to make some plays for your team. And I could sit here and give you a different answer, but that's the truthful answer. I didn't think she was playing, and if we haven't got somebody playing, I'm going to put a freshman in there and get some experience for them.
Have you gotten any closer to finding a vocal leader during practices that you said you're missing on this team earlier in the season?
Not as good as it needs to be. You know, sometimes when kids are quiet in their personality, it's hard to do that. And you know, I've had years in all my years of coaching where we haven't had a leader, and if you don't have a leader, you need to be a highly coachable kid, you know, and the coach needs to become the leader. So just saying, hey, we need you to be a leader, it isn't that simple. It isn't that simple. It takes some makeup. It takes the ability to bring it every day and lead by example and lead vocally. And, you know, we're trying to instill that in some kids, but it's a hard character thing to instill.
Questions?
As the losses start to kind of build up and March starts to get closer, how much pressure are you feeling? Obviously, you can't lose that many more if you want to be a tournament team.
No, that's true. I mean, I think before that, it's a daily process that we've got to work on some things and get better each day. And you know, you hear people say we got to get to this level or we got to get to tournament, all that. We just got to get better as our first focal point right now, and the wins and losses will take care of themselves on that. So, yeah, we want to go to the tournament, but we've got to improve a lot of things before that's realistic at this point.